Good evening and welcome to the 10th meeting of the 14th Council of the Town of Happy Valley-Goose Bay. I'd like to call for an adoption of the agenda, please. Moved by Councillor Laurie Dyson, seconded by Councillor Jill Williams. Any discussion? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Motion's carried. Okay, no delegations today. Correspondence, there's a number of letters in our package for Council's review. Fourth item, adoption of previous minutes. Call for a motion to adopt the 9th Council minutes of January 27, 2026.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Laurie Dyson, seconded by Councillor Denise Rumbold. Any discussion? None heard. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Motion's carried. Okay, we'll move now into committees, and I will call on the lead for Finance Administration Policy Committee, Councillor Rumbold.
Thank you, Mayor. The council met as a committee of the whole on February the 10th. And under the Finance Administration and Policy Committee, we discussed, we had a few requests for tax exemptions. We had donation requests. We talked about the accessibility plan survey analysis. We also discussed some upcoming conferences that would be held, and we would need representation from council to attend at. We discussed a donation request from a local school, actually from 2 local schools, and we have recommendations to follow for the tax exemptions and donation requests. We, in our monthly reports, there was nothing of urgency to discuss in the finance department, but it is worth noting that tax bills have been issued today, property tax bills, to our residents. So although up until today we have 0 applications for tax relief, for low-income tax relief, I would like to have it noted to our residents that if you feel like you may qualify, or if you want to apply to see if you do qualify, we do have an application that's available on our website, as well as available here at the town hall for pickup for anybody who doesn't have access to a computer. And our friendly, helpful staff would be pleased to help you complete it if you need any assistance. Yeah, so basically, I am ready to head into the recommendations for the Finance, Admin, and Policy Committee. And I would like to request that you accept my report as presented.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any discussion on the report? None heard. Call for a vote. All in favor of the report?
Aye.
Aye.
None against? Motion is carried. Report's accepted. Okay, you have some recommendations, Councillor.
I do, but before I begin, I'll
Yeah.
let the Deputy Mayor
Yeah.
speak.
Before she starts her recommendations, I'm in a conflict for the first 3 as I'm a board member with the Mokami Status of Women Council.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Deputy Mayor is in a conflict on 3 of the recommendations. Just wait for her to sit in the gallery. Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Rumbold.
Okay. My first item for to be brought forward is the Mokami Status of Women's Council has a request for a property tax relief. And council recommends that we approve 100% tax relief for property tax for 2024 for power ID 079571 in the amount of $9,784.51, which reflects $8362.80 in principal and $1421.71 in interest.
Okay, so moved. Seconded by Councillor Dyson. Any comments?
Yeah,
Okay, Councillor Odell.
so I got some comments with regards to, I guess, policy F0009 pertaining to nonprofits and tax exemptions. So, not that I disagree that they should get tax exemptions, but I look at our current financial state as a town and what we're trying to accomplish as a community, And I do believe there's a responsibility for every individual and business within this community to provide some support to the community. So as the tax exemptions come in, I do believe that credible organizations deserve a tax credit, but I struggle with the 100% tax credit with regards to every individual organization that comes in and applies for it. So as it stands right now, F009 states that if they show their statements and they prove to fall under a certain category, they get 100%. So therefore, I will not deny this, or I will accept this as well. But just to let you know, with regards to going forward, my position on non-profits or even any organization with this community, I believe on so wholeheartedly that each and every one of us has a part to play in this town, and this is a part of it. So that's all I have to say with that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Any other comments? None heard. Call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
None against? Motion is carried. Next one, please.
Okay, the next one is the Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends that council deny tax relief on water sewer tax for 2024 for power ID 079571 in the amount of $5,503.52, which reflects $4,664 in principal and $839.52 in interest.
Okay, so moved. Seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any discussion? Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to provide some clarity on this one, as Councillor Odell just spoke towards the F0009, we do have something in place where we accept applications for tax relief for business tax and property tax. However, water and sewer is not a eligible category under that exemption, and this would be the rationale behind the denial.
Thank you. Any other comments? None heard. I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? None against. Motion is carried. Next one, please.
Okay, the next one is the Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends that FAPC approve 100% tax relief for business tax for 2024 for power ID 0795710002 in the amount of $909.40, reflected in $770.62 principal and $138.78 in interest.
So moved. Seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any comments on this one? None heard. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? None against. Motion carried.
Okay,
Next one, please.
No, I'll wait for the deputy to
Okay,
resume
sorry,
her
yeah.
seat.
Deputy Mayor
and,
will return to her seat.
Okay, my next item is the Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends the FAPC approve a donation of $250 to Queen of Peace Middle School for their French Immersion Program's art show, Exposition des Arts Francophones.
Okay, so moved. Seconded by
I'll second that.
Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion? Councillor Rumble.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to provide a little bit additional information, this one was discussed in our Committee of a Whole meeting, and we discussed at that time the criteria for a donation of this manner, and this one is something that is held in the local community, open to the public, and so it would be a donation that would reflect a benefit to our whole community.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? None heard. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? None against. Motion carried. Next one, please.
The Finance Administration and Policy Committee recommends that FAPC deny a donation request to the Mealy Mountain Collegiate Female Volleyball Team. The student travel policy was abolished, and this would align more with that policy.
Okay, thank you. We have a seconder. Seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any discussion on the motion?
As we mentioned Mayor, in the committee as a whole, we should actually look at that policy again for youth travel, and I think it was discussed that we were gonna talk about it again.
Yeah, I agree with the deputy mayor. I mean, I think that whole policy needs to be looked at again, as do many of our policies. They need to be updated and in accordance to how things are going on in the world today. But there are changes that probably needs to be made to a few of our policies. I think this is one that warrants further discussion. Any other comments? None heard. I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? You're against, Deputy?
Yes.
You're against it? Okay.
Yeah.
Record show, Deputy Mayor is not in support of the motion. Okay, so, motion is carried. Right, next one?
My final item is regarding the Towns in Tune. The Finance, Administration, and Policy Committee recommends that council support the Towns in Tune project with a cash donation of $17,250, which would be HST included.
Okay, so moved, seconded by
Second.
Councilor Winters. Any comments? Councilor Rumble.
Thank you, Mayor. Just for, I guess, clarity, because of the wording, we have, the recommendation states a cash donation. But just to clarify to the public, this would not be something that would be coming out of what we refer to as our donation pot of money, right? Our donation coffers. This would be more a paid sponsorship or a paid partnership. I'm looking at the CIO, okay. So the wording is a little bit ambiguous because it does state a cash donation, but if I can do a friendly amendment to my motion, and I just read it out, that we word it, the council support the Towns and Tunes project with a cash contribution of $17,250.
Okay, do the seconder agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a friendly motion to change donation to contribution.
Please.
All right, we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay,
And that would be it for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Just have a word on that.
yeah, okay, just, I
didn't have
know
a
we
chance to
passed the
discuss.
motion, but you can have a few words.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I know 17,000 sounds like a lot of money, but this project is costing over $600,000 to film, and it's going to promote our community like it hasn't done before. We're going to be on PBS, NTV, Picture NL, and there's a lot of exposure that our town will get. And again, this is only 10% of the 600,000 of what's needed. So I just felt that the community should know that this project is really going to put us out there on the map with regards to tourism.
Okay, Councillor Dyson wanted to have a comment too. Are you finished? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just one comment, you know, it might not seem like a lot of money, but, you know, $17,250 to me is a lot of money when we just denied a request for youth travel, which I think is seriously needs to be looked at.
Yeah, and I might as well add as well, this money was something that was budgeted for in this year's budget, because the discussion came to us last fall, the interest in having the town part of this Towns in Tune was something that came to council previously, previous to the adoption of our budget. So just basically what it boils down to is a television show that pairs two communities, one in South Carolina and usually one in this province. This is the third time that this program has been put together. They have decided to pair Happy Valley-Goose Bay with Beaufort, South Carolina, and look at what we do have in common, and work together to showcase both regions, and like Councillor Winter said, to put us on the map. I spoke with the mayor of Beaufort this week. He's excited about the project. He's invited us to attend events in Beaufort as well as screening is taking place. And the intention is for representatives from Beaufort to come here in the summer as part of that television program, and the program should air either late in fall or early next year. So the work has started. I think it's a great opportunity for our community, and I'm looking forward to seeing the final product. Any other comments? Okay, none, okay, there's no vote, we already voted in favor, so I'll just move on to the next motion. Okay, all right, so community planning and development, and council lead, Councilor Lori Dyson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Planning and Development Departments continue its efforts on digitizing the historical mapping and data for the town. Work with many of the public procurement files and record keeping is ongoing, and the office has seen multiple Crown Lands applications, 6 of which will be covered this evening with recommendations. Various inquiries from local residents, businesses, and offices have been addressed, and many include follow-up, research, and assessments from the Planning Department with both Mr. Dillon and Mark McCreadis. There have been 22 compliance letters initiated with ongoing follow-up expected and scheduled regularly. The tourism accommodations tax is progressing and will become part of the development regulations. Engineering, finance, and community development continue to meet to put a procedure in place to address the short-term rental situation as it relates to the new tourism accommodation tax being implemented in the next few weeks. This is a multifaceted approach across all offices, with each department working on action items. We have not received an update from the province with regards to the request for the 3rd lane to Mealy Mountain Collegiate, the MHA before and the current MHA. There has been some communication, but unfortunately we haven't got any go-ahead on that yet. The CAO is working with the town's legal counsel on the process relating to the dilapidated buildings on Crown lands within the municipality. Ongoing discussions regarding the process with Crown lands as it relates to applications from residents and what authority the town has in that regard, as there has been some discrepancies in the past. With regard to the community development, operations have included meetings on climate adaptation and resilience training, youth education and career development, Tech NL, the National Tourism Workforce Summit, and the town's Intune project. Regular meetings between Margaret's department and the CAO, the GIS Tech, Engineering Tech, and the Supervisor of Assessment and Taxation, as well as the Director of Engineering, is ongoing. Training courses with Climb Atlantic and the Community Conscious Training by Quest Canada. The Accessibility Plan Committee completed the survey analysis with committee members giving their feedback, and there is a link to the full report on the town website. I think there's also a link to the PowerPoint, Margaret? Continuous website updates, multiple updates actually, PSAs and social media engagement continues to grow. Margaret is still pursuing the possibility of cruise ship visits to Happy Valley Goose Bay, and will be following up with the Association of Arctic Expedition Cruise Operators to continue that effort. The electric bus continues to be busy, and we can hopefully have an update on the progress of our very own charging facilities at next month's meeting. I ask that you accept this report as read, and I have several recommendations.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Call for a seconder to accept the report.
I'll second.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion on the report? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote. All in favor of the report?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Okay, the motion's carried. Report's accepted. Recommendations, please?
Okay, the first recommendation, the Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide objection to Crown Lands application 165059, located at the intersection of Aspen Road and Lake Crescent, as this grant would prevent the future development of the primary road for the industrial light area located behind Aspen Road.
Okay, so moved. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Odell. Any discussion? None heard. I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
None against? Motion's carried. Next one, please.
Second recommendation, the Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based business application at 7 Elizabeth Avenue. The operator will operate a phone, internet, email only home office for mobile tire and automotive services called Lynx Automotive. and it's, of course, subject to compliance with all the town regulations and conditions.
Okay, so moved, seconded by? Seconded by Counselor Williams. Any discussion? Okay, none heard, call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
None against, the motion is carried. Next one, please.
Third recommendation, the Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the application to Crown Lands to acquire the land required for a road in the industrial light zone located behind Aspen Road.
Okay, so moved, seconded by? Counselor Odell. Any comments? Discussion? I don't know if the town engineer could just give us a little brief overview of what that entails, sir?
Yes, Mayor. That section of land in that area is in the process of being zoned industrial commercial. And right now, there is not easy access to that land. And what this approval will do is authorize staff to go to Crown Lands and apply for an amount of land such that a road could be constructed in the future. And this land then would be more readily available for those who would like to have Crown land approved in that particular area, in that particular zone.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, none heard, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 None against? Motion's carried. Next one, please.
The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 165137, located at 62 Cartwright Road, on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, just a point of order, is the number correct? Are we on E?
Yeah, we're on E, yeah.
165133? Or,
No, I'm just going down the...
We're on D, 62 Cartwright Road, D.
okay,
D in the
all right,
list.
okay, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead. Okay, motion is on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Winters. Any discussion? Being none heard, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
None against? Motion's carried. Okay, Crown Land application E.
Okay. Crown Lands application 165133, the Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council provide no objection to Crown Lands application 165133, located at 59 Cartwright Road, on the condition that future development complies with the town's development regulations.
Okay, so moved. Do we have a seconder? Second by Councilor Williams. Any discussion?
So these are just residential properties, I'm assuming?
These are, this recommendation and the one before it
Just
is
for-
basically already occupied by the people. It was just a matter of the paperwork not being
Oh,
done.
Okay,
That's
all
good.
right.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, none heard, call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
None against? Motion's carried. Okay, next one.
Discretionary land use application. The Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the home-based short-term lodging accommodation application at 3 and 5 Spruce Avenue, where Capital Crane will operate a short-term lodging accommodation subject to compliance with all town regulations and conditions.
Okay, so moved. Seconded by Counselor Williams. Discussion.
Mayor, I'm just
Deputy
wondering
Mayor.
if Mr. Dillon could tell us if this was posted, was there any concerns from that area?
Yeah, yes, Deputy Mayor, it was posted, and the town did not receive any comments or concerns with the application.
Thank you.
Any other comments? None heard, call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
None against? Motion's carried.
Okay, the final recommendation, the Community Planning and Development Committee recommends council approve the application to Crown Lands to acquire the land required for the, oh, we already did that one.
Yeah, you,
That was the one that was added twice.
yes.
Mr. Dillon?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that's it for you, Counselor?
That's it,
All right,
Mayor.
thank you. All right, we'll move right on to Protective Services and Council Lead, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. This committee of the whole met on February the 10th. The discussions we had in it there, well, we talked about the fire protection bylaw that I'm going to bring forward. Was sent to legal in 2025 and is now back and ready for review. And it's just a standard bylaw that needs to be voted on, so I'll bring that forward. The community safety plan, Mr. Brian Davis is still working on the community safety plan. He is providing weekly progress reports to Mr. Butler. The website is set up, hvgb.ca. The last we heard, there was only 1,000 surveys completed. I think it's still online, so anybody who wants to go in and fill out that survey. And Mr. Davis, he's now working on a follow-up survey with the potential, as asked, for paper copies to be available at the town office for those who can't use access computers and what have you. So it's important for the community to get engaged with this community safety plan. I think he's going to be with us until July 26th, so you know, time is winding down, and this is important for our community safety plan. I also want to mention that council met with Minister Ottenheimer on February the 5th. Of course, our top priority as a council is public safety. Our public safety funds have ran out, so we obviously requested that they consider giving us funds again for our public safety, whether we hire Garda or whatever we do for security purposes in our community. It's definitely needed. So we did get that message across to the Minister of Justice. We talked about the third lane at Mealy Mountain Collegiate. This is several times we've talked about this. We did receive a letter from Minister Petton that they that was a town concern and not the provincial government, but I'll disagree with him on that one. You know, the province built the school, so Minister Ottenheimer did say that, you know, she would follow up with it. We talked about the moving violations, how important this is for our community. Again, she would take it back and do some follow-up and do some research on the moving violation. So I think we keep pushing that one as a council, and, you know, we will get somewhere eventually. Civic numbering is still an issue in our community. There's still several houses with no numbers on them. I know our MEO is tracking houses with no numbers, but I think we should probably step it up a bit, because as long as I've been on council, we've been talking about houses with no numbers, and it's still an issue within the community for first responders. And I think, Mayor, safe to say, we actually came up on one of them ourselves the other night in the middle of the town. The ambulance couldn't find the house on Palliser. So there is an issue, and I think that our MEO needs to step it up and start, you know, enforcing that a little bit more. I wanted to see if we can get an update on the appeal for Tricia D's, the cleanup order that was issued. Do we have anything back on that CAO? Nothing? So,
An appeal was filed, and until it is heard, neither side can do anything.
right. So we don't have a time frame on an appeal, right? Okay. Dilapidated buildings, it still bothers me that all them buildings around town, and again, in the previous council, I believe that we dealt with 5 dilapidated buildings, and I think it's time that we put the pressure on some of them owners again. I'm thinking of Ottawa Street up there's eyesore, it's unsafe, and I think it's time that we put the pressure on again. I know the last time we couldn't find the owners. We know who the owners are, but the names are not titled with the owners and so on, right? So am I correct in saying that, CAO? There's no new information on that, right?
There's no new information.
No. Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the Ballards for the bike trail. safety reasons. We know that there's gonna be issues this summer, and I think we need to get ahead of it. This council has discussed it several times, so I wanted to put it out there again, that, that's something we need to look at, because spring is around the corner, summer is around the corner, and we know the ATVs are gonna be out of control on that new bike trail, and there's gonna be issues, so I think we need to get ahead of it for safety reasons. And I wanted to mention, like I do every, public meeting under protective services, the RCMP report shows 466 calls for 2026 and 527 calls for 2025. So there's still, you know,
That's
lots.
for the month, is it? The month?
That's for the month, yes. There's still lots of activity going on in our community, so, illegal activity, and, keep calling, because we need that data. It will show Minister Ottenheimer that public safety is a real concern in our community. And that's it for me. Mayor, I ask you that you please accept my report as presented, and I have 2 recommendations.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Move to accept her report as accepted, or presented, sorry. Seconded by Councillor Laurie Dyson. Any discussion? Councillor Odell.
Yeah, I just got a couple of things with regards to a couple of topics, or that the deputy mayor brought up, was the no owner of properties throughout the town. So if the town goes, and again, this is something that I'm just open house with regards to discussion, but if we cannot find an owner to a dilapidated properties, what jurisdiction or authority or power do we have as a town to, I guess, take care of that issue? Do anybody know?
I'm not sure if the CAO can answer that, or the town engineer, in terms of authority.
Or if it can be taken offline, that's fine. I was just wondering if it's something that's been going for so long and it's still going on. Is there any legal, options we have, or are we kind of just sitting in this loop?
Thank you,
CL.
Councillor Dell. It does kind of sit in a loop. The issue with when you cannot identify an owner, even after doing searches, and we've used searchers and legal to search, if the town pays for the cost to come down, we have nobody to bill it back to. So that cost is 100% borne by the town. And we do not have a large budget for demolition.
Right.
Some of these buildings will cost into the tens of thousands of dollars to demolish and haul away stuff. Some of them may not be able to be if they have any type of asbestos or other type of safety related issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why they get left.
Okay.
A couple of the properties up there, I'm actually working with our lawyers on to try to figure out whether or not we can go back to the province on them, because the province had transferred the properties to people, but there's no registration of that, to that effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it unfortunately is a very long process and not a straight one.
No, and again, I just wanted to clarify that, and I guess one other question is there ability that if we do pay for the cost of removal, that the properties can revert back to the town? Is that an option for us to then?
That's another thing I've been dealing with for about a year and a half.
Okay.
On a property that we did remove ourselves because of public safety concerns.
Right, okay, great.
And if I can just add, I had the opportunity when Minister Ottenheimer was in town to just give her a tour around the community, and actually brought her up to that area of town and showed her those dilapidated buildings.
Right.
And had the same discussion. And I think, not speaking for the minister, but I think there's too much red tape. There's too much government red tape. I mean, these buildings should not be there. They should have been torn down years and years ago. And if there's problems with ownership or identifying owners, the taxpayers of this community is gonna have to foot the bill. And that's something that is, we shouldn't have to do, because those buildings don't belong to us. I think that we should expropriate, or whatever we have to do to make sure that, whatever is taken to get those buildings down, because next thing you know, they're gonna be on fire, and we're gonna have serious issues in our community. So
Yeah.
hopefully there will be some movement on that, and thanks CAO for
No,
the
absolutely,
update.
thanks for clarifying that.
Mayor, I
And-
just wanted to add to that, perhaps the council should write another letter to Minister of Justice, just reminding her of those buildings, because we've been talking about this for years, and it is a safety concern, and the town don't have the money to tear them down and haul it away, but when the fire was up there, we realized, like, really, how many old buildings are up there, and, that could have been another serious issue if the fire would have got out of control with buildings, catching like that, right? So, just sitting on it, and I think, action wouldn't, we need some action on it. And even if it's just writing a letter to the Minister of Justice and saying that we discussed these buildings and where can we go next, or,
Yeah, we definitely need to follow up, because after what happened the last couple of years and last few months, I mean, serious concern if people are squatting in those buildings, and potential fires, and that could be disastrous for that part of town.
as we
Yeah.
know, there are some people squatting up there, and these days they call them trap houses. So who's responsible if something serious happens?
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, so again, like, with regards to those buildings, there are a lot of buildings up there that's dilapidated and should be removed, I agree 100%, and which actually opens up properties for other businesses to come in and sit down. So right now, as those businesses or buildings stand there, that handcuffs the community and the town and businesses from looking at, and which is our industrial park, I'm assuming, which is up in the Canadian side, to open up other businesses and whatnot. So again, it puts the town in a real bind, because there's properties available, there's buildings on them that's dilapidated, and you basically don't know what's in them. It opens up the doors for, again, people to squat, and which becomes a safety concern for them, and as well as the town as well, because we don't know what can happen. We've seen fires in the past, probably will see them again in the future. One other question with regards to Deputy Mayor's comments was, I'm just interested in the building on Cabot Street that was part of the fires last year. It's still standing. We actually have the 3 fires. We have one removed, which was on Hillcrest, the one on Cabot.
The deputy mayor shed,
Yes, but that's cleaned up.
that was done right away.
That was cleaned up, but the one on Cabot Street is still standing, and again, becomes a safety concern. The one across from the Johnny Hill Sliding Hill. Again, any actions on that with
They
regards to
had
that?
30 days to clean it up, and I
Yeah.
don't know, was there a second order issued? Was there any follow-up with that CAO?
Once the order is issued, it is issued.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, I'll say there's no further orders to be issued once it's in place, unless it is repealed or something.
Okay.
The problem with that one is that it was unoccupied and the owner's deceased. So it's not, and it wasn't left to anybody, there was deceased without a will. So there's questionable of ownership and responsibility for something like that. Anyway, that one is still in the works, but I don't expect anything to happen over the winter.
Okay. So basically, is that another situation where the property, if it was cleaned up by the town can, or that's another legal issue as well?
Bill-
With regards to taking the property back and then putting it up for sale to pay for the costs of no? It's not an
No,
option?
I mean,
We're not
the only
able to
way
do
that
that.
would happen, Counselor, if there was in arrears or something, the town could initiate a tax sale on the property itself.
Yeah.
But that's pretty well our only mechanism in order to obtain that property.
That
But
could
if-
be the next step to see if it is in arrears.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if, because we're saying that there's no owner attached to that
There's
property?
no owner attached to that property, there are relatives.
So there is an estate.
There is an
That
estate.
hasn't been settled, I guess.
Okay, very good. Just,
Okay,
good for me.
any other comments? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote. All in favor of the report?
Aye.
None against? Okay, the report's accepted. You have 2 recommendations, Deputy?
Yes, Mayor. The first one is the Fire Protection Regulations Update to Bylaw. The Protective Services Committee recommends council support and approve the new fire protection bylaw.
Okay, so moved. We have a seconder. Second by Counselor Williams. Any discussion? Deputy Mayor, you have provide an overview of that, please?
Yeah, it was, like I said earlier, it was sent to legal, the Fire Protection Regulation bylaw, and it's just a standard update to the bylaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Which can be found
Any other comments? None heard, call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
None against? None seen, motion is carried. Next one, please.
The next one, petition to implement GPS ankle monitoring system. Be it resolved that the 14th Council of the Town of Happy Valley Goose Bay support the petition for GPS ankle monitoring for intimate partner violence offenders to be presented to the House of Assembly by Sheila O'Leary.
Okay, thank you. Motion's in order. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Williams. Any discussion?
I just want to give a little brief on
Go ahead.
what this is. So, petition to implement GPS ankle monitoring system. A petition and background information has been received from Janet McNaughton asking for council support in calling upon the House of Assembly to urge the government of Newfoundland to implement an active GPS ankle monitoring program as an option for the courts when those accused of seriously violent or repeat offenders are released on bail conditions. And being employed with the Department of Justice for many years and very familiar with the ankle bracelet, I think this is a huge step in the right direction, and especially with the intimate violence, assaults that goes on in Labrador. We are one of the higher rates of violence, so I fully support this.
Any other comments?
And it could actually act as a good deterrent as well. If people know that if these crimes are committed, that they will be tracked, so it could actually benefit or act as a deterrent from some of this activity from happening as well. So it's a win-win.
Sure. Any other comments? Okay, none heard. I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. None against? Motion is carried. Okay, that's it for you, Deputy?
Yes, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll move right along pretty quick, to municipal services, and Councillor Williams, please.
You got it. For engineering, we've got some major capital projects progressing across multiple streams, several now completed or nearing completion. We do have some project management challenges persist with some contractors, mostly the YMCA and some lift station work. Fire hall design, as we all know, remains a top priority. Active coordination with transportation and infrastructure. There's a draft RFP received and under review. Some municipal building upgrades, snow guards, HVAC upgrades at town office, and arena heating upgrades are all underway. Landfill planning discussions ongoing with the province on landfill replacement and extension, a study eligible for 100% provincial funding. As for public works, winter operations are ongoing, and I want to commend our town staff for doing a really good job with snow clearing, sanding, and road scraping that's ongoing. We do have a transit impact. I will ask for an update, Mr. Dillon, shortly, but bus operating on reduced hours due to charging issues. We will talk about that shortly. Landfill operations remain steady with regular sand cover and tipping revenue tracking as expected. Environmental services, water and wastewater systems are operating normally, which we're all thankful for. Ongoing work on, you did speak about spring, but I'm not ready for it yet, Deputy Mayor, but spring readiness, water main repairs and distribution maintenance. Daily water testing is ongoing, sewer checks continue, federal and provincial sampling requirements are being met. Generators and fuel systems are fully serviced and performing well during recent outages, because we did have a few. I do want to acknowledge the importance of staff safety and recognize the work staff are doing to maintain our current operations responsibly. Just as a planning note and nothing else, I'd like us to keep long-term consideration of a permanent municipal operations depot on our radar. But I appreciate the ongoing work staff are doing in this area. So like I said, we had updated everyone on the charger for the bus for Mr. Dillon during the committee of the whole. I assume there may be a little update for this time?
Yes, Councillor, the charge point technician is scheduled to be in town on this coming Friday. So hopefully that charging issue will be resolved anyway.
That is fantastic, thank you. I ask that you accept this report as read.
Okay, so moved to accept the report, seconded by Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs. Any discussion on the report?
Mayor, I wanted to ask about the left turn on Loring Drive. Can we get an update?
I was talking, yes, Deputy Mayor, I was talking to the electrician there a couple of days ago to try to get, see when his schedule can accommodate getting that work done. And depending on the weather and so on, he is scheduled now on Monday, the upcoming Monday, to get that work done. So all the parts are in town. It's just about getting the right weather in place, and well, not in place, but you know, as long as the weather accommodates. He's scheduled. He told me that he is scheduling for Monday upcoming to get that work done.
So he's gonna do it on Monday?
If weather permitting, his schedule, he told me Monday is the day that he plans to get at it.
You can mention to him that I first brought this forward in October in the meeting, and he said that, yeah, we're gonna work on that, we're waiting on the parts, we're gonna get it done. So, yeah.
Well, the parts are here,
Yeah.
and he's committed to it, and Monday I'll be in touch with him on Friday to make sure that Monday is the day that he's gonna be on
Thank you,
the-
Mr.
on
Dillon.
schedule.
Can I, just a comment on that, I mean, who does the quality control here? I mean, you issue a contract, somebody installs lights, and they're installed incorrectly. And then all of a sudden, everyone in the community going up in the left turning lane is on the right-hand side. I mean, I've never seen it anywhere, ever like that.
Well, the engineering consultant are the people who actually verified that the work. Now, they still maintain that that is the primary signal is supposed to be on the right-hand side. But anyway, I disagree on that.
Mayor, I got another-
So that will be fixed. There will be two signals with actually two left arrows, one on the pole in front of Woodward's, and the other one on the mast, on the left-hand turning mast. And there will be no left-hand turning arrow on the right mast.
Okay,
So that will be fixed.
thank you. Deputy Mayor, you have another question?
Yeah, can we get an update on the new protective services facility? Where's that to now?
Fire hall.
The fire hall,
Yes.
the RFP has been issued and is scheduled to close on March 5th.
March 5th?
Yes.
Okay. And at the last meeting, we talked about the depot, and we were gonna have a meeting. Has there been any discussion at all around the depot?
I can defer to the mayor or to the CIO on that.
Yeah, we have had discussions. I'd rather take them offline into a closed meeting.
Okay, so, yeah, so council needs to meet to get updated to see where we're to on that. Okay, thank you.
There's financial implications, so it would have to be a
Yeah.
closed meeting. Right?
Okay.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, none heard, call for vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, okay, well, now we'll move on to Community Services and Recreation, and Councilor Winters.
Thank you, Mayor. Just going to go review some highlights of CSR Director Demir's report for February. Action items, MMC soccer field. The approved suggestion will be actioned in the spring of 2026. Summary of operations, town in tune. The event coordinator is going to visit the town of Beaufort, South Carolina in the second week of February. He will be in Valley-Goose Bay the following week. CSR Director will meet with him to continue to help create contact for his project. Labrador Winter Games. Torch relay took place February 14th in Happy Valley Goose Bay. The banner was presented to the mayor and councilors present at the end of the relay. CSR Director has started to meet with committee chairs that are hosting events inside the arena. There is an event scheduled for every day of the games at the arena. Ribfest, CSR Department is currently working with the producer to confirm dates. Consultative Communicator L'Association Francophone du Labrador. They hosted a community session at the Y. It's great to see the community groups using the Central Labrador Y. YMCA annual campaign. The last discussion was around repeating our previous events, Strong Kid Indoor Triathlon, and to host a cyclothon. All dates are yet to be confirmed. In addition, the committee has sent letters requesting donations. The funds raised help provide financial assistance to the community members that want to join the YMCA but cannot afford the fee or to build new programs for the community. YMCA, CAC, and FAC committees. At the January meeting, the claim was presented. The town reps asked for the Y to provide more information regarding their business plan for the next 5 years. They provided only one number per year with 2 different scenarios. Town reps feel that there is more transparency needed. Age-friendly community action plan. A list of potential members for the committee has been completed, and the invitation has been drafted for the first meeting. Figure skating, their regional competition went well. The water interruption on that day created some stress on the planning side. With no water, the ice plant cannot operate. However, with the cold temperatures, ice stayed in good condition until the water issue was resolved. Funding, year-end sport funding from Celebrate NL Facilities Access. The 3 final reports have been completed. 2025 year sport from T-Car Department. We have received an extension for the program as the equipment arrived late, as the department were not able to host the program. We will plan for the summer. Government of NL Summer Employment Program applications have been completed. Sports Hall of Fame. With the conversation held at the last council of the whole meeting, department will start efforts to find a digital space to gather information. A dedicated page section on our website is an option to explore. We will request support from our MHA office to find out who from Valley-Goose Bay is currently in the Sports Hall of Fame. For example, Sport NL and Broomball NL. When that work is completed, we can focus on the terms of reference on how we move forward. A draft has been started. After-school program, the program has not yet resumed. Try-it sessions, pickleball. We have received permission from the funding agency to extend the project. We had preliminary conversations with the YMCA to host at their facility, or look at waiting until the end of the ice season to host at the arena. Labrador Regional Wellness Coalition, no update. Next meeting is scheduled for March. Facilities and equipment. Arena daily cleanup, ice maintenance, repairs, operations are in place. We hosted 2 special events, the regional figure skating and the minor hockey Labrador Cup. Both events went well, as we had enough personnel to clean the facility each day and night. For the Lab Cup, minor hockey requested block seating to block the seat section behind the player bench. In general, it was well received, and the public respected the directive. The request was not related to one specific event, but to general behavior in the arena when minor hockey takes place. In conversations with minor hockey, it has been mentioned there have been some local incidents where parents have been asked to stay away from minor hockey activities. I just want to note that's very unfortunate that that's going on, that you actually have to block off parents from talking to kids when they're playing sports. Anyway, moving on. Ice plant. There are some issues with the plant, but it's not impacted the user groups. Computer systems. We are in contact with Simco to finalize the scope of work and get the work completed. When done, it will improve how we can manage the plant. This work will most likely be completed this summer, as more sensors will be needed to be installed. It would be more efficient to complete our annual maintenance program. Zamboni, the laser level is still not operational. We are working with Saunders Equipment and Zamboni to fix the issue. Audio system. The new switch for the penny box needs to be programmed. As a local sound, people are not able to do it. The CSR director has been in contact with the original contractor that installed them to address the issue. Central score clock. The director followed up with user groups but did not receive any commitment, any financial commitment at this time. An application to IJ was completed. That's unfortunate because they are the ones that are actually going to be using it. It would be nice to get some financial assistance from them in place. Curling Club. The Racement Pub has been ordered. It should be here within 3 months. We will complete the transition during the summer. We also have a repair kit on site, and if there's any problems, we will be able to make an attempt to repair it. No update this month regarding staffing and training. The temporary assignment was scheduled to end. However, it has been extended. We have no change in personnel this month. We will continue to update safety and training sessions this season. We send staff when their day schedule meets the course schedule. The Reconel Regional Conference will take place in Valley-Goose Bay this year, June 8th to the 10th. Appropriate staff will attend and send as many staff as possible when the sessions are relevant. System reports, no reports this month, and no recommendations this month. Upcoming events. March 2nd will be the last day of regular operations. March 3rd to 17th, the Labrador Winter Games, meaning March 3rd and 5th for transition, March 8th, opening ceremonies, March 14th, closing ceremonies. March 15th and 16th, for transition. March 17th, regular operations resume, and March 27th, 29th, the end-of-season rec hockey tournament will take place. Please accept report as provided.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. We have a seconder for the report. Seconded by Councillor Odell. Any discussion on the report?
Mayor,
Deputy Mayor?
a couple things. National Volunteer Week in Newfoundland and Labrador is April 27th to May the 3rd. Can we note that, because I think I brought it up the last meeting, if something was going to be organized for the town of Happy Valley-Goose? We've done it for years. So I just want to note that Director Demers could give us an update at the next meeting, or the committee of the whole. And also, there's a correspondence letter in our package from Mr. Frank Russell. So I'm wondering, are we going to get an update on that on our next committee of the whole? CAO, maybe?
I don't know if that's been discussed by council or not, like.
There hasn't
No,
been
it
any
hasn't.
It hasn't been
No.
discussed.
Say
It's
no.
in our package, but it hasn't been discussed. I think that will go straight to CSR Director to follow up with, right? And he'll
Develop a
bring it,
briefing note on it.
well,
And
he'll
then
bring
bring
it
it
to our
to
next
council.
meeting in the council of the whole for our March meeting,
Yeah,
I assume.
committee of the whole. Or we can have a discussion as a council, or we get a briefing note.
Yes, seeing as it's written to council, I would think that some direction from council would be greatly appreciated.
I
before
would suggest that
it
a
comes
briefing
back.
note be developed and brought to the next committee of the whole with a potential recommendation from the CSR Director.
Well, I wouldn't say recommendation.
Well,
that would be
recommendation for
discussion
council to
amongst
consider
council.
to discuss.
Yeah, recommendation.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, none heard. I'll call for a vote to accept the report. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None against? Report's accepted. Okay, moving right along into the adoption of the checks. And Councillor Rumble, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion that we adopt checks for the period of February up until including February 24th in the amount of $931,550.17.
Okay, so moved. Seconded by Councillor Williams. Any discussion on the checks? Okay, none heard. Call for a vote to accept the checks. All in favor?
Aye.
None against? Motion's carried. Okay, moving right along into Councillors Forum, and I see Councillor Williams look at me first, so you'll go first.
That's wonderful. I want to speak about just one thing so I can highlight it solely, so bear with me. I want to recognize our Special Olympics athletes who've been training consistently all season and for the Labrador Winter Games specifically since December. We have 7 athletes from Goose Bay, 1 from Wabush, and 1 from Lanse-Claire getting ready to compete on March 10th at the snowshoe race for the Labrador Winter Games. I am the Special Olympics head coach here in Goose Bay. I've had the privilege of seeing their dedication and their growth firsthand. Their commitment, teamwork, and determination are something our entire community should be proud of. I'm also the coordinator for the snowshoe race for the Labrador Winter Games, and this is my 6th games as a coordinator. I'm really looking forward to seeing our community come out to support athletes from Happy Valley-Goose Bay and the surrounding communities. Our snowshoe track is ready, and I am so excited to see everyone on Monday and Tuesday of the event. We will be at Amarok, and it's going to be lovely. On Tuesday in particular, we have the snowshoe final races, we have the 50-plus snowshoe race, the relay races, and the Special Olympian races. And I just want to say there's going to be a fun event there that our volunteer firefighters and local RCMP are going to participate in. So if you can make it out on March 10th up at Amarok, I'd love to see you. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Odell.
Yes, so anyways, for my topics, I just want to again reiterate the importance of the Access E11. I brought it up in the last meeting, and I want to bring it up again. It is located at the town website, and again, just to inform the community, it allows us, the town, to track issues within the community, from roaming dogs to illegal dumping and everything in between. It's a very important and useful tool for the town. So again, it is on the town website. It's it's a form that has to be filled out, but again, it's very important for the town, for us to track and trend issues within the town that we can then work on and effectively repair and fix. Town staff, I'd like to again recommend the town staff for doing a wonderful job in preparing and organizing the information for the Heritage Week, and also the brochure that was put out for the tourist tax, which makes things clear as to what it is, the intent of the tax, and where it can be, where the revenue can be used for in the town. So hats off to the town members that looked after that. Again, with regards to the Labrador Winter Games, a shout out to all the volunteers in the upcoming Labrador Winter Games. It takes a lot of people to organize this event. There's multiple towns from all over Labrador that's involved with this. A lot of athletes coming, and again, it takes the volunteers in order to make everything just right so the athletes can come and participate and enjoy their stay in Happy Valley-Goose Bay during this week of fun and festive events. And with regards to that, that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Dyson, please.
Slying at me. Yeah, just a couple of things. Todd brought up the tournament and the fact that you know, those two sections had to be sectioned off to avoid some of the conflicts in the past. This weekend before last, we had the mega tournament, which happened the entire weekend. I'm pleased to say that we didn't have the incidents that we had from the Steve Ramey, so I think the message is getting out there. Unfortunate, of course, that it has to happen at all, but security is a big issue at the arena, so hopefully those things are alleviated more as time goes on. With regards to, Dion had mentioned the Access E11 site. I don't feel that that is reaching, that the seniors have the ability to reach that. And I think that something should be put in place specifically for seniors. The majority of the seniors that I know do not have internet, so the ability to access that is kind of hard for them. So I'm hoping that something will be sent to all the seniors in the community explaining what the process is for them to report other than using the phone as well, or if they have another avenue. Hats off to the organizers of the pancake breakfast. We were it was great to be a part of that. I'm not sure how much money they raised on that, but I'm sure the deputy mayor will fill us in. Great announcement today with MP Philip Earle on the investment into 7,500 housing units nationwide by the Department of National Defense. I look forward to what that's going to bring to Five Wing Goose Bay. It's great to watch Kane's Quest, of course, down to, I think, 8 racers now, possibly. So hopefully those all arrive safe. The only other thing I'll mention is Literacy Week that happened last week. I spent a few hours down at Peacock, and they want me to come back, but I don't know if it's as a student because my reading level is probably the same. But I went down for an hour and stayed the whole morning, and it was great, and I encourage anybody to go down there. And even though it was Literacy Week, I think they're open to any of council going down and doing the same thing, and it was really good. That's about it for me.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Rumbold.
Thank you, Mayor. I think they wanted Councillor Dyson to come back because she had a lot of fun with the kids, I'm sure. Yeah. So I wanted to start off with condolences to the family of the late Joe Anderson. Mr. Anderson was a dedicated volunteer with both the Royal Canadian Legion and the Canadian Rangers, and his contributions to the community and his volunteer work will definitely be missed. So condolences passed on to them. I want to throw a couple of bouquets, in particular to the Connect Club of Goose Happy Valley. This is Kindness Week, and in the spirit of Kindness Week, what the Connect Club has done is they have purchased transit passes that I believe started yesterday. Now that is with, restriction, as long as the passes last. But the riders of our public transit system this week will be, in for a treat when they find out that their pass has been covered by this generous service organization. So hats off to them. Like to talk about the torch relay for the Labrador Winter Games. Mayor and council had the opportunity to be a part of that here at council chambers, or at the town hall on the 14th, and we were honored to accept a banner on behalf of the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay. So that was lovely to be included in that way, and I don't recall in the past that they've done their torch relay in this particular way. So this is the first time, so it was great to be a part of that. Also referencing, the Labrador Winter Games, and Councillor Odell already mentioned, the volunteerism and the support that goes into that, and Councillor Williams is, we know she's the biggest cheerleader out there. But, definitely want to commend all the volunteers, because this is a busy time for our community. So the town of Happy Valley Goose Bay is honored to be able to welcome so many people into our community. As well, we are a checkpoint for Cane's Quest. So I think there's a checkpoint at the Royal Inn. And in addition to the checkpoint at the Royal Inn, there are some phenomenal ice sculptures that have been placed outside of Mamatook Restaurant. So those sculptures, that's an initiative that was done with Mamatook and local carver Hollis Yetman. If you haven't had the chance to drive by and stop and take a look, they are absolutely beautiful. So I would recommend everybody take a moment to, if you're out for a drive, it's on 10th Street, take a look at the craftsmanship and the artwork that's gone into those, because they're absolutely beautiful. I mentioned earlier in my finance report that the property tax bills went in the mail today. Just want to again reiterate that the town has a low-income relief application for property tax, and qualified individuals can avail of either a 25, 50, 75, or up to a 100% discount under that hardship program. So it's something that, until you apply, you don't necessarily know. If you are struggling financially and that is daunting, then that is something that I would encourage residents to submit an application for. The application is available on our website, and again, for anybody who can't access it in that way, they're welcome to stop by the town hall. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was that as town councilors, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are well informed and well trained, and we have all, since the new year began, been pretty, up to our eyeballs in training. So we've all completed, 5 different modules to make sure that we are well-versed and knowledgeable. And so just, wanted to say that it's been great to have these training opportunities at our fingertips. We don't know it all, but we're trying to learn. So, and that was it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Winters, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one thing, a couple of things about the Winter Games is this is the last meeting before the Winter Games, so it'll be over and done by the time we meet again. Just want to send out welcome to all the communities of Labrador to come to Happy Valley Goose Bay. This is the only event of its kind that brings all communities together, and Goose Bay is the ideal spot for it, as we have the volunteers, we have the facilities, even though some could be improved. But we have a great volunteer base, a great infrastructure base, so it's just logical to have it here. And again, welcome all communities from Labrador to come to Goose Bay. The other side of that is, I know councillors are thinking and talking about the volunteers, but we also have the town staff, the CSR department, go above and beyond for those 9 days, picking up the floor, replacing the floor, changing the floor, moving things around. Not only them, but snow clearing. Everything we do for the Winter Games is phenomenal from the town's perspective. And I just want to say thank you to the staff that are going to be spending 12 and 16-hour days making sure that this event happens smoothly. That's all I have.
Thank you, Counselor. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just want to wish all the athletes for the Labrador Winter Games, great games, and, it certainly brings the community together, and it wouldn't be possible without the hundreds of volunteers, and lots of volunteer work gone into these games for sure, and the staff, like Councilor Winter said, wouldn't be possible without the staff that are working so many hours each day. Also, the investment that was announced today by Minister McGuinty of National Defense, new housing for 5 Wing. It didn't state how many, but any new housing in our community is a great asset, and we certainly can use any housing we can get. Senior housing is doing well with housing, and we'll continue to advocate for a personal care home and more senior housing. You cannot have enough housing. And this is a great announcement today from the federal government for sure for 5 Wing. Cane's Quest, a grueling skidoo race, endurance race. I've been watching it. I'm addicted like everybody else that's into it, and I'm certainly the last I seen, Team 6, Michael Elliott and Josh Rose from Goose Bay were in first place. Team 7 is doing well too. That would be Ryan Conley and Matt Bennett. So a lot of people are glued to their leaderboards and their YB apps this week, I can tell you. And so I want to wish them well. And it's a hard race for sure, not for everybody, that's for sure. And that's it for me, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a few comments. Just for information to the public, the town has written a letter to National Defence Minister David McGuinty in response to Canada's release of the new Defence Industrial Strategy. Given the importance of 5 Wing Goose Bay to the economic and social fabric of our community, I think the message was clear to the minister that, as the federal government moves forward with implementing this strategy, and modernization and future readiness, and I think we heard something today. The announcement today was positive news on additional housing units or new housing units being built at 5 Wing Goose Bay. I look forward to getting more details on that. But the message is that the town is, here, we're ready to work with the base, to work with the Department of National Defense and all stakeholders to ensure that 5 Wing Goose Bay continues to thrive with local engagement and support. So that was a positive announcement today. We also sent a letter off to the provincial housing minister regarding condition of several Newfoundland Labrador housing units in our community. Residents have been raising concerns for a long time, and what we're seeing now goes beyond just minor repairs. Some of the units are in rough shape. That rapid housing money that the town secured 3 years ago, that money helped build, actually built 16 units in our community, and 3 of those units, I believe, are boarded up. 3 of them are boarded up or partially boarded up. Not even a year in, and I think it's a year ago or so that those units were occupied fully. That's just not acceptable. And Newfoundland Labrador Housing, these units have been boarded up now for the last 3, 4, 5 months, some of them, and no update, no nothing. Looks terrible on the town to drive through these neighborhoods and see plywood boarded up the windows and doors. And I think Newfoundland Labrador Housing has some responsibility here to deal with this issue and deal with it swiftly. We've outlined to the minister, we've asked the minister to act quickly on these issues. As the longer we go on, some of these people are going to be squatting in these houses. We've seen it before, of houses being occupied even though they're not supposed to be. Also, the town submitted its input to the Independent Churchill River Review Committee, which is looking at the MOU between Hydro-Quebec and Newfoundland Labrador Hydro. Our community has lived and continues to live through the consequences of Muskrat Falls. We all been there. We know the struggles that we've had over the years and the issues that arose from that, the pressures that have been put on our housing stock, on our healthcare system, on policing, mental health and addictions, family violence. We can go on and on and on. And some of those issues, and I've been saying this for years, were outlined in the panel review report for this project. And at the time, they were swept under the rug, not taken seriously, and we were left dealing with the consequences, and we still are. And we can't see that. We cannot support any project, in my view, can't support any projects that leaves us out again and leaves us behind and having to pick up the pieces and move forward with trying to keep our community going. Yeah, I'll mention Kane's Quest. I mean, it's obviously it's not something I would venture to try and do, but certainly, you know, hats off to everybody involved in that. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of determination, I guess a lot of stubbornness on the part of some people that to even take this on. And I want to recognize every team that started the race, and wish those who are still in the race all the best as they continue moving forward. And hopefully we'll start seeing some people arrive in our community maybe tomorrow, within the next 24 hours or so anyway. Labrador Winter Games, again, less than 2 weeks away, well, almost 2 weeks away. And so again, we're excited to welcome, as Councillor Winter said, this is the only event that brings all of Labrador communities together in a show of unity and sportsmanship. And I'm looking forward to this year's games, and actually a lot of excitement around the games, and there always is a lot of excitement around the games, so really looking forward to it. Finally, as Councillor Rumbold noted, the Kinets have provided free busing this week. You know, I guess there's a limited number of passes, but it's just another example of you know, the commitment that the Kinet clubs and in their community, and they always practice kindness, and this is a good example of the kindness that this organization has shown to our community over the years. So that's it for me, and with that, I will ask the CAO if she has any comments she would like to make this evening. No? Anyone else? Any staff? Everyone's nodding no? Okay. All right, we'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Compton Hobbs, seconded by Councillor Rumbold. Meeting is adjourned.